Hey everyone, Cassandra here in the machine shop. Today I wanted to take some time to discuss the different types of indicators that I use here in the shop and a couple different ways that I hold these. So first, and I think most common, you have a 1-inch travel indicator. This is my Stare at 1-inch travel indicator, and the full travel is 1 inch. Now, each revolution is 100 thousandths of an inch, and each tick on here is 0.001 of an inch or 1,000th of an inch. This is my Harbor Freight 1-inch travel indicator, and I really like to use these in situations where you know your indicator may get damaged or you're machining and there's a lot of chips and the chips are really hot. And when they land on the face here and melt it, you don't get too upset about your $15 1-inch travel indicator from Harbor Freight getting damaged. Whereas your Stare at one that is expensive, when it gets melted or damaged, it's a little more upsetting. Now we also have test indicators. So this is the most common one that I use. This is a Mitutoyo 10th test indicator, and each tick on here is 0.0001 of an inch or 1/10 of an inch. So that essentially breaks up 1,000th of an inch into 10 different pieces. So remember, the human hair thickness is about 2,000ths of an inch, and that would be from the 0 to the 1 and the 1 to the 2, and then we're breaking that up into 10 more pieces from the 0 to the 1. This is another test indicator made by Brown and Sharp. I keep a long tip on this one for harder to reach places or when I'm trying to indicate small holes. And this is a 0.5 thousandth or 0.0005 indicator. So each tick is 1/2 thousandth. This is a Mitutoyo millimeters indicator, which I don't ever use, but I have it and they do exist. It is a thing, of course. So I just wanted to show that one. Now, the tips on these indicators can be changed. So you can unscrew the plunger and you can put on many different tips. So if you were indicating in a forging or something that is very rough on the outside, you could actually put this roller on and set it so that when you're indicating something very rough, there is this little roller here, and it's not so abrasive on your other tips. So all of those can just screw out and you can put in whichever tip you want. Now, when holding indicators, this Noga is very incredible, and I will find the model and make and post that. Well, it's made by Noga, but I have had this for so long and it is so useful. I use this in the mill the most, and you can put the dovetail into this part of the indicator holder, and you can really essentially orient this in any direction that you want. And when you get it just how you need it, you can tighten the knob and it locks it into place. Now, one thing that I do like to maintain is the rigidity. And sometimes when you use this fine adjustment, I find that this is not so rigid. And so when I'm indicating, I tend to, unless I need it, I tend to keep this all the way tight unless I need it. And sometimes you need that. Now, this is a Noga indicator base, and I use this on the lathe the most. So the bottom is magnetic, and you have a switch to turn the magnet on and off. And it's the same thing as the indicator holder, and in the sense that you can loosen this knob, put this in any orientation that you might need, and then lock it into place. It has the same holder here. It has the dovetail, and then your 1-inch travel indicators typically can come through about like that. Let's put this back on. And so if you were at the lathe and you needed to indicate something in, you can set this up where it's just so perfect and indicate your part in. So I do like the Noga indicator bases much better because of the articulating arm. I have one of these right here. These single posts where you have to manipulate many knobs. It can be very difficult to get exactly the right angle that you want to set up to indicate your part, maybe in the lathe or a special hole that you're trying to machine in the lathe. It's just really hard to manipulate these. So these are some of the very common types of indicators that we use in the machine shop. The 1-inch travel for hitting length on the lathe, and for indicating parts in roughly in a 4-jaw, or a test indicator, which you can use to extremely accurately dial in your material or check for flatness when you're indicating in a part in on the mill. And that's what we'd use this holder for. So I hope you learned a little bit about the different types of indicators that we use, and why they're so important, and why there are so many different types. If you have any questions, please put those in the comments and I'll be sure to answer them for you.